Have you found anything? Please, I've got to know what really happened to Megan.
I've investigated all of Detective Chase's leads. You were right. Something was off with Megan's case.
So, what did you find?
I got my hand on a test report that confirms what was bothering Chase. The attackers used excessive measures to make bodies and equipment unidentifiable.
Oh my God, Megan. What do you make of this, Adam?
I don't know exactly. I guess the idea was to leave no traces, no DNA evidence that would link back to them. But it just seems a bit too convenient. An officer assigned to the case was asked to get rid of a major piece of evidence. Footage from one of our intellicams showed fuzzy images of the attackers bringing something inside the labs.
What? What were they bringing in?
I don't know. But for someone higher up to want that evidence gone, it must have been important. There were only 3 people who got out of the labs alive. Me and 2 others. One died in the hospital a few days later. The second one, a lab tech, was ready to give a detailed description of what he saw. Funny thing is, by the time the investigators got to him, he couldn't remember a thing.
You sound like you don't believe that.
I don't. Not from the reports I've read. I think someone got to him first. Someone in the government, a man named Manderley, ordered that a specially appointed medical examiner perform the autopsy. He bypassed the local ME. Simply put, that's not a good sign.
It sure doesn't sound good. So what you're telling me is we couldn't find anything conclusive?
No, I'm sorry. But one thing's for sure. Somebody's been hard at work covering up and destroying evidence related to this case. Somebody with power, who wanted to erase anything that might have made the investigation linger. I'm sorry, Cassandra. I wish I had more tangible answers to give you. But I did stumble on something I think you should have. I found Megan's bracelet. I'm sure she'd want you to have it.
Oh, Adam, that's very kind of you. Her grandmother gave it to her. She loved that bracelet very much. Thank you for all you did. And, do you know exactly how Megan died?
I read the reports. She didn't suffer, Cassandra. I can promise you that.
Thank you, Adam. It's not much, but it still brings me some comfort. I miss her so much.
Don't worry, Cassandra. This is not over. I don't know how or when, but I will get to the bottom of this.
I knew I was right to trust you, Adam. But please, be careful. It's strange. I thought knowing what really happened would make me feel better. But nothing will ever justify this. My daughter is gone.
Trust me, she will.
It must have been pretty bad, right?
This time, patients attempting to access the 2nd Avenue Limb Clinic
I'll
found
see you
their
later.
route blocked by supporters of the Humanity Front movement. The pro-human organization had received permission to gather and protest earlier in the week, but police decided to shut down the legal rally prematurely and closed the Broadview Tunnel. Perhaps they feared what might happen once the hostage situation at Seraph Industries resolved. Regardless, several violent skirmishes did break out, but no serious injuries were reported. This is Eliza Cassan, reporting to you live from Picus.
Before you ask, no. Your mirror has not been replaced, Mr. Jensen. Today I've had to deal with petty vandalism, unreasonable demands from corporate clients, and a variety of other pressing problems. So facilitating your grooming had to be given a lower priority.
Speaking from the tarmac at Wayne
Put
County
the
Airport,
weapon down!
called the attack
Put the weapon down!
An extremely regrettable affair. I'd very much like to meet with David Seraph in person, to offer my deepest sympathies and assure him that these attacks are in no way linked to Humanity Front. My people have worked tirelessly to find a peaceful solution to this dispute, and I unequivocally deplore the methods used by these hostage takers. Now, that being said, I do hope the UN takes a concentrated look at what happened.
Oh, God.
Where are you, Jensen? I haven't got all night.
Hello, Pritchard. I'm almost in my apartment now.
Well, when you do get in there, connect the neural hub to your computer. I've created a secure tunnel, and I'll take over remotely.
You can access my personal computer.
Who do you think configured your security protocols?
Welcome home, Mr. Jensen.
Pritchard, the hub's connected.
I know. Now be quiet and let me concentrate.
I need his name, Pritchard, not his entire genetic history.
That's not his DNA. It's the data he was trying to steal from us before he... My God, Jensen. Your suicide hacker didn't kill himself.
You obviously didn't see his brain splattered all over the floor.
No, you don't understand. The wet drive modification in this chip, it allows someone to hack through you. It turns you quite literally into a human proxy.
So he wasn't working alone. Someone off-site was doing the actual hacking.
Exactly. And whoever it was tried to hide his location by using multiple satellites. But I may have just traced him to here, an abandoned factory complex in Highland Park.
Get me the address, Pritchard. Because if we're lucky, whoever pulled our terrorist strings might still be there.
Adam, it's David.
Let me guess. You're sending me to Highland Park.
Not just yet. Frank's figured out why the network's been compromised. There's a persistent transmission coming from Derelict Row.
Street gang territory?
Well, our dead friend was posing as an anti-aug. Who better to hide with than the D-Row ballers?
Right. I'm on my way.
Re-establishing security system.
I can't believe he
See you
said
soon, Mr.
that.
Jensen.
It was spur of the moment. It didn't mean anything.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I knew you and that Max were close, but I didn't realize you were that close.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I guess I wanted to be reminded of what it was like to be with someone normal.
You were the one who wanted us to get enhanced. Now you're saying we're not normal anymore. Well, I'll try not to touch you too often with my cold, dead, metal hand. Okay?
Mr. Jensen, I fixed up your apartment real nice. That special request you asked for works like a charm.
Jensen, I'd appreciate it if you instructed your street informants to use more conventional means of contacting you.
What are you talking about, Pritchard?
I mean, I found a message stapled to your door. Colo, alley off Bagley Avenue, Ezekiel. How cryptic.
That's near Seraph HQ. I'll look into it. Oh, and it's Cholo.
Hey, Jensen! Long time no see. Jensen. My God, it's been a while. Remember me? We used to work the old 17th precinct back in the day. Man, I wish I could go with the good old you haven't changed at all bit, but that'd be complete and utter bullshit, right?
Yeah, I guess that's one way to put it. I like your new style. A bit revealing for my taste, but not entirely unappealing.
Oh, yeah? Well, don't get your hopes up, big boy. I'm undercover, keeping tabs on derelict row ballers. I've got a hunch something big's coming.
Why do I get the sudden feeling you're about to include me into that something big?
Because you're clever. That and the fact that, well, it's pretty obvious. But jokes aside, you couldn't have come at a better time, Jensen. This case I'm on, we're stalling and we could use a little external help.
Go ahead.
I'm with IA now, and we're working a sting on a dirty cop named Jack O'Malley. Elusive motherfucker. I mean, Men in Black elusive. We know he's involved in drugs, weapon dealing, tied into the gangs. But he's clever, and we just can't seem to pin anything on him. I swear he's got friends in high places.
Okay, and where do I fit in all this?
You're an outsider. You can go places we legally can't. I need someone to do a couple of things. Break into his apartment, sneak into DRB territory, and finally, go undercover posing as a hitman. This guy is nothing minor, Jensen. He's the real deal. Major player, major consequences. We have to get him before shit hits the fan. You in?
How about the target, O'Malley? Got any more info?
He's a cop, but he went on assignment with the feds for a while. No reports, no address, nothing. We're pretty sure he got tied up in major covert ops, but never got anything solid on him. He has a badge, but he doesn't feel like a cop at all.
I haven't walked the beat in a while. Could you give me a quick sit-rep of the local gangs?
You know, gangs are not the finest example of evolution, if you catch my drift. Everything's pretty much the same. The derelict row ballers are still dealing and stealing, getting into fights with OGs, and defacing augmented people's property.
Yeah, right. Upstanding citizens.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have the Motor City Bangers. Ignorant scumbags just like the DRBs, only some of them are augmented scumbags.
Can't let a guy like that roam free. I'm in.
All right then, let's get to work. Like I said, I've got a couple of very promising leads, but O'Malley's got friends among the